Good morning, everybody. It is the right side of campus, and we are live here on a Monday, October 15th, 2018. I'm your host, the big man on campus. Here with my co-host, Donnie Wrights. And Donnie, I wanted to ask you, I haven't eaten these in some time, but those pancakes that are on our little photo there, they look pretty good, don't they? You ever see those?
Who doesn't like Do I ever see pancakes? Of course I
Uh,
see pancakes in this
No,
house. Come
on the
on now.
little, little, like, ad thing we have there before the graphic, before the show starts. Got, like, the syrup dripping down. Looks mighty good,
Yeah,
I'll
man.
tell you.
Pizza and pancakes are in the right side household. That's almost a daily occurrence, Jeff.
Yeah, that looks, those look real good, man. I haven't had pancakes in a long time. I mean, I can't cook anyway, so I don't really, make that kinda stuff, but, I'll tell you what, Ryan, Donnie, right?
Yes.
He makes a mean pancake, I'll tell you, that kid. Uh,
Hey, man,
Pancakes are good stuff.
pancakes are a must in life, and we should definitely indulge as much as possible, especially in the fall when we're not really worried about our beach and bikini bodies over here, Jeff.
Right, right, right. Welcome in everyone out there listening. As always, we do appreciate it. Hope you had a great weekend and you enjoy your Monday. It's back to work for many people. I got to get that yawn out, Donnie. But we're here to chat about what happened over the weekend. Lot went on, lot to talk about, and we do have a game tonight as well. We'll get into that. So let's get started, Donnie. We remind you to hit the like button and make sure you communicate with everyone here on the chat by saying hello. Also, check out everything at SBR. A lot of great things going on. Got a good blogs, a lot of great shows as well. So make sure you check it out. That channel. SBR has one of the biggest sports betting channels on YouTube. Make sure if you haven't, you subscribe and say hello. Let's get into the Donnie headlines. Now, we are without some graphics today, as you noticed. Donnie, you noticed no
Oh, I
graphics.
did just notice that. Yes, I have to pull my notes out now. Good call by you.
We There's a holiday down in Costa Rica, so we're a little short staffed today, but we'll move on. That means you're just gonna have to guess what we're gonna talk about. So that's fun. I actually like that a little bit more. I don't like when we give people away what we're gonna talk about. So let's get into it. Couple morning headlines here. Conor McGregor, Donnie, fires up the Cowboys. And what do you know? A loser hang out with a bunch of other losers. But looks like it maybe helped them because they rolled the Jaguars. One thing about Conor McGregor, it's clear over in Ireland, they don't show anyone how to throw a football over there.
Yeah, I guess they don't really teach the correct football over there, Jeff, as the American football versus the European
Sure.
football. It was kind of funny there, but look, I mean, he's in his attraction, right? He's going to show up, even if you don't like Conor McGregor. It's one of those guys where, like, if you don't like Donald Trump, but you get to see him. You don't like Barack Obama, but you get to see him. You don't like Conor McGregor, but you get to see him. Isn't it like, because going to Eagles games for 15 years where my seats are, I can turn around and look in the box. And every time we play the Dallas Cowboys, it's just neat to see Jerry Jones in the box or you see Daniel Snyder in the box. It's fun to see people live in person, no matter if you like them or not. So,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Donnie. I have my love hate with Conor McGregor. I actually watching this movie on YouTube about him. It's kind of like a biography of his life. And I'll tell you what, he has come from nothing, Donnie. They have like footage of when he was younger. And he lived in like this really small apartment with his girlfriend, and just kind of how he became like what he has become. He's quite interesting. But yeah, I guess Donnie played a lot of soccer when he was a kid, but I guess they never played football, which is, fine. Listen, most Americans throw the football away Conor McGregor does. So I don't listen.
that's correct. That
I
would
don't
be
think
correct. Go
I
to
don't
a
think we,
football game and just see a tailgate, and you'll probably see 90% of the people throw the football at the tailgate, just like
right.
Conor McGregor does.
I don't think we should knock him too much because again, most Americans do throw the football that way. But he did fire them up, I think. Uh, what else do we have here? Ohio State moves to number two, Donnie, in the poll. I hate AP polls. I couldn't care less about them. But they move up, and I'm guessing Alabama is clearly still number one. Ohio State number two. Look, is anyone surprised by that? I mean, they took care of business. They won another game. I don't think it really matters as long as Ohio State doesn't lose. I don't think they're going to move much in the poll. They're in the Final Four until they lose. That's not too surprising, Donnie.
No, no, and you got LSU creeping into the top 5. We'll talk a little bit of college football later in that aspect, Jeff. As we all like to give a shout-out out there, a lot of banter on Twitter that we go back and forth with. We can always use it for Monday headlines. If you want to check out like me or Jeff at any time out there, Handicappers Watchdog, some guy always winds up, it seems like, Jeff, at one time or another on the top of the leaderboard with a 70% winning percentage and 31% ROI in the last 30 days. We can't tell you who that is, but you might want to check it out there. So some good information does get spilled on the show, Jeff, every once in a while, doesn't it?
Yes. I know a lot of people don't want to admit that, but it does. Uh, the Red Sox win game 2. They needed it. They had to have it, and they got it. I was hoping they'd get swept, but they don't. Red Sox win game 2, even it up, and head back to Houston. But I think the goal obviously would be to win 2 games, Donnie, for Houston. But they won a game. They head back home. Home field advantage now. They get 2 back in Houston.
Yeah, it was interesting last night, Jeff. Game played the same time as that headlining game, which we'll talk about in just a few moments here between the Patriots and the Chiefs. Saw, Jeff, those diehard Boston fans, the best fans in the world in the ALCS, Jeff. I saw screenshots that if you went on like StubHub, you can get tickets $20 to get in the Fenway last night for an epic monster game, huh?
Yeah, by the way, shout out to all those Boston fans that when that kid got beer poured on him at Yankee Stadium, all the Red Sox fans are all, oh my God, they're such asshole fans. What a bunch of shitheads. I don't know if you saw Donnie, but when Tariq Hill scored that touchdown, I saw a lot of beer being thrown at him as well. So listen, don't throw stones in glass houses, assholes. All you Boston shitheads. I saw all the beer being thrown. Donnie, you saw that, didn't you?
Yeah, 2 of the worst fan bases going toe to toe, it seems, here lately with thuggery,
Well, listen,
so
I
to
don't
speak.
think,
But yeah.
and I don't think any Yankee fan will disagree, Donnie. The fan base is, wild, probably. But these shitheads shouldn't throw stones in glass houses. They're no better. Um, so yeah, fuck off, Boston. Um, Donnie, one other headline.
And by the way, Jeff, even on the baseball game, this topic always comes up, Jeff. Did anybody watch a single pitch of that game last night? I mean, I'm just being honest.
No, I didn't.
If it wasn't for like the ticker at the bottom of the screen, I would never know there was a baseball game even on at this point. Maybe it's just, is it just me, Jeff? Because I'm a sports fan and I like big stages, but baseball doesn't even cross my mind once the NFL and college football gets underway, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, I will admit I didn't watch any of it. I mean, I saw what was going on, but no, I didn't. Yeah, it's second rate right now at this point.
And it's
One
a
other,
big time. Not even like you're getting like a team that nobody like. Let's just say Oakland snuck in there. Even though I would have rooted for Oakland, like, ooh, let's watch them play. You had the Astros and the Boston Red Sox in
right.
Fenway in prime time, and I didn't see a single pitch and would have had no
Well,
idea who won unless I saw the
well, look,
ticker.
I think it has a lot to do with what else was on. I mean, Patriots Chiefs was on. Look, if it was
No, even all throughout the week though, Jeff. Like because we talk about like the day. Like I like it when they put a baseball game on at 4:00 because there's literally nothing else to watch, and I usually put it on. But if there's a baseball game at like 7:00 at night, I'd rather be watching other TV or watching other games in the NFL or college or just capping, looking forward to the next weekend, as opposed to even tuning in or caring about these baseball games.
yeah, I mean, I don't. I can't say like if it was a Tuesday or Wednesday, nothing was going on, it would be on my TV. But do I have a lot of interest in it? The Yankees are out now. No, not really. I have my futures, which I'm rooting for in Red Sox and Brewers, but um, you know, I don't need to
Yeah,
watch
like
the games
I'm
to
not
figure
even, you
those
know me,
out.
Jeff. I'm not even a big NBA guy, but I find myself like in the NBA playoffs going on, even though they're how stretched and elongated they are, I still watch, like I still have it on and I follow it and see who's winning. But in baseball, for some reason, man, it's just I don't know. I guess when football starts, that monstrosity of a sport just completely engulfs baseball. Maybe when you get to the World Series, if we have like, a Boston LA series or something like that, it'll be a lot more fun to watch. But I'm just tuned out of baseball right now. It's a shame because they're good teams in there too.
No, they're all four good teams, sure.
Yeah.
One other thing we learned, Donnie, this weekend. I know you wouldn't bring this up because you don't care, but look, to me, there's nothing better than a knockout. There just isn't. You can knock someone out. I mean, Donnie, I don't know if you've ever knocked anyone out, but like, think about it. think about being a boxer. Like you fight a whole thing, you fight a whole fight, and you just hit that guy the right way, and he just goes down. I mean, it's just great. Terrence Crawford, pound for pound best fighter in the world, knocks out Jose Benavidez on Saturday night. I had more interest in this than baseball. What a great fight. Benavidez actually fought pretty well, but he was never in the fight. It was Crawford the whole way. Crawford would have won if they went to the scorecards, but he dropped him in the 12th round with about 20 seconds to go. Benavidez got back up. He dropped him again with about 8 seconds to go. Game over. Crawford, another win. And he would think at this point would go and fight Mikey Garcia, which would be a terrific fight. But Donnie, just wanted to mention that the Omaha
No,
kid.
no, I got a quick question for you too between UFC and boxing, Jeff. Like,
Sure.
growing up, UFC wasn't really around. I remember like the
No.
first couple, I don't even know if they called it UFC at that point, but they were like, it was more gimmicky. Like guys would have like one boxing glove on, with like no rules out there. It's just really wild the way it started. But the one thing I always appreciated, Jeff, about boxing is the gamesmanship of the sport. Like you knock the guy down, you have to step away, and he gets a standing 8. The one thing, and look, maybe it's just me, but in UFC, like you see crazy, just awful, wretched, the cool, I should say, knockouts, like violent knockouts in UFC. You know what always gets under my skin a little bit, Jeff? It's clear that you just knocked the guy out, but the ref's not fast enough to get in there, and they get like 3 to 4 bombs off on the guy laying
Yeah.
out cold on the mat. I always had a problem. I don't know, maybe it's just me and UFC, but I always had a problem with that. Where at least boxing, if you flatten the guy, the ref steps in, you're on the ground, you get to stand up. I always had a problem with UFC. If some guy's out cold, and you know he's out cold as a fighter, that you drop like a atomic elbow right across his jaw while he's still out cold. I always had a problem with that with UFC.
And sometimes they'll get in and shove you out of the way, the ref. But yeah, I mean, when you knock someone out in
Yeah.
boxing, you pretty much know. But yeah, I guess it's I guess you go off
Because
what
I
the
know I know
ref
you're
says.
taught to finish them and all that stuff, but I just the brutality of that part. Like I don't even mind like a choke hold, you choke the guy out, or you knock him out, you kick him in the head, and he's just out cold. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. But everyone like you see the guy just crumble, and his eyes are rolled back in his head, and you get 2 bombs off on the guy while he's laying flat on his back. I always hated that in UFC.
Sure, sure. Donnie, before we move on, I want to bring something up to you. I thought of you over the weekend. I don't know what day it was. I think it was Saturday nights or something, Sunday or one of the days. I was like eating something, and I didn't really. I was just sick of watching football. So like
Hmm,
I put on Sopranos, and
there you go.
I went over the episode of this is just episode late in the series, but it's a great episode. It's probably one of the most underrated episodes in the show. Do you remember the episode where Corrado's at like the psych hospital or ward or whatever? He's at like the home, and like he creates like the poker game,
Yeah, I was just
and
gonna say yeah, it would have had to have done that.
he
Yes,
has like
correct.
and he has like all the guys in there, like the nuts and the crazy
He has
people,
the
and like he
tape.
has the
Yeah.
poker game. Yeah, and he's like trying to act like a mob boss like inside the like jail, and he has like that Asian guy is like his like sidekick,
Yep,
and
exactly.
throughout the episode he watches the Asian guy watches Corrado like become weaker and weaker because he can't do what he does on the streets, and the one time he has like the game going on, and all the guys are like, no one even knows how to play. They're like, front of them's
Nope.
like crying and stuff. And
Yep.
the orderly guy walks in and goes, Corrado, what do we tell you about this? It's too stressful. And Corrado goes up to him and goes, Corrado goes, I saw your girl at pet therapy today. How'd she keep her coat so shiny? And like I almost died because that fucking episode is great. And the other part of the episode is Tony and Paulie have to go to Miami because they are worried about a body being dug up and they're going to
Yeah.
be implicated
Yeah.
for it. I just that was a
That was they
great
go is that
episode.
when is it they go out on the, boat and he's eating they're,
Yeah,
talking next
yeah,
to
yeah,
each
yeah.
other?
And
Yeah.
and Tony
What
considers
by the way, what
murdering
were they
Paulie.
talking about? Was he imposter or something, or what were they even talking about out there? Because he got some
They-
it was a pretty funny conversation.
No, they were talking about well, actually Tony considers killing Paulie because he found out that Paulie was the guy that told John Sacramone about that Ginny joke. Remember?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like Tony suspects that it was Paulie that did it, and and he also gets real irritated with Paulie throughout the episode because Paulie's like super talkative, and he's concerned with that. Like he worries that you know because Paulie's always talking about shit that happened 20 years ago, and he's worried that Paulie's going to talk too much and, be a rat.
Uh-huh.
If you're looking for an episode to watch, that one is it. Great episode.
There you go.
Let's move into football here. Yesterday in the NFL, wild day. We'll start with the Steelers. They beat up the Bengals, and look, they beat the Bengals again. Bengals were very poor in this game. Had the lead, but then now you look up at the clock and you see you're up one with about a minute to go, and you're thinking, "There's no way they're going to stop them." There was no way. I mean, the way the Bengals had played, they had no one playing defensively because everyone was out injured. A bad. I don't know if you saw Donnie the penalty on third down. It would have been fourth down.
No, I was just
It was a
that was the point I was gonna bring up. It was 3rd and 10, Big Ben's rolling out of the pocket, nobody's open, and if you watch the replay, does he hold him a little bit? Yes, but in the context of an NFL game and at that position, it wasn't where Big Ben sat back in the pocket, Jeff, and at 30 minutes, and he was gonna get open, and he was gonna throw to that guy, and that was gonna be the end-all, be-all play. To call that at that moment there, I mean, I even saw the cornerback, Kirkpatrick, talking about it at the end of the football game, and he's exactly right. That's not like second quarter, Jeff. Okay. Game on the line, jobs on the line, seasons on the line, basically. To make that call was absolutely egregious. And then fast forward it to a play that they called 9 times out of 10, a straight up pick play that allowed Antonio Brown to get wide open and run into the end zone for a touchdown that ultimately won the game. That was egregious as well. So some very poor calls late in that football game.
Yeah, it was rough though. Bengals dropped a lot of passes. Defensively, they weren't good enough. They didn't run the ball effectively. The Steelers continue to play well, and they own the Bengals. That's for sure. What else do we have yesterday? Dolphins get a win. Congrats, Donnie Rightside. Listen, I'll still say I thought the spot was good for the Bears, but again, didn't play well yesterday. Kenyon Drake fumbles late in the game. You think, that's going to be game over, but fear not. Dolphins still win, and Kenyon Drake is vindicated.
Yeah, what a crazy game too. If you're watching it there, because it looked like we were on live on the air at the half, Jeff, 7-0. Bears come right out, make it 7-7, and looked like they started to ice the football game and really pull away as you got to see the real Brock Osweiler. But all said and done, it always comes down to some key plays here or there. And boy, these little, speed wide receivers, the Tyreek Hills, the Grants of the world that Miami has, and it's just they are fun to watch. It can house it at any moment, but the 8-point lead, I believe it was 8-point lead at the time. Mitch Trubisky throws an awful pass into the end zone. If you just run the ball a couple times and kick a field goal, you're going to end up winning that football game. That's road Mitch Trubisky there at his finest, making plays that he should not be making out there. And where was the Bears defense, Jeff? I mean, we all saw the line shift from 3 to 7 before game time. Oh, my God, Brock Osweiler is going to get killed by this vaunted Bears team. They wilt in the heat. No sacks. Dolphins outright the Bears. Amazing stuff, man. That's the NFL for you.
Dolphins give up Bears give up 31. Jags give up 40 yesterday. Two defenses that you expected were pretty good. Not so much. They get shredded. Rams roll. They get the job done. Don't cover though. If you had the Broncos, you got the chicken yesterday. A late touchdown. Had some weather issues. The game was fine, clear. It was just very cold. Also, Donnie, a couple other ones. Cowboys roll. They beat the Jags, and you had that one. 4 o'clock slate was pretty interesting.
No, it was interesting there. I just thought, again, sometimes these spots make sense. Blake Bortles is a horrific quarterback on the road. You saw him against the Chiefs. He was horrific. They put up, 14 points against one of the worst defenses. It looks like might be all time, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you go in and play. Say what you want about Dallas. Dak Prescott was amazing yesterday. Did I think he would be that good? Absolutely not. But I thought the Dallas defense would be able to hold the Jacksonville Jaguars down. Jacksonville Jaguars have nothing on offense. It's pretty apparent. Maybe they can get back Leonard Fournette and reestablish their running game. But as long as Bortles is your trigger, man, you can't really go on the road and expect to lay points and beat teams who play decent football at home. That one was interesting there. And going over, what was the other one we had up there? The Rams. The Rams game, look, I took the over in this game, Jeff, over 50. Opened up middle of the week, 52, 53, came down to 50. That was my price point I wanted to take it at because I knew there was going to be 0 snow in this football game and 0 wind conditions. The one thing I didn't factor in, Jeff, is how bad a quarterback Case Keenum really actually is in that game. And early on, Jeff, I know you saw the same play I did. Case Keenum, one of his few really good passes to Emmanuel Sanders, and Emmanuel Sanders, which he does quite a bit in the NFL, feels the need to, when he makes a catch, has to taunt the other guy. Well, you got to make sure you're in the end zone before you taunt other guys. Brings it back from the half-yard line back to the 15, end up kicking a field goal there. That play was pretty much doomed due to the play of Case Keenum. But sometimes, Jeff, you wish you can go back and change a play. I wish I knew weather was in the forecast and it was going to be 8 inches of snow on the ground, which would have caused me to maybe get off of that football game. But I probably would have taken a half-point loss in a game later in the day, though, Jeff.
Yeah, the weather didn't really affect the play. I mean, it was fine.
Not at all.
I mean,
it was perfect
you know,
weather.
the Demarius or the Manuel Sanders touchdown was rough. I mean, they even called it and they went away from it off red zone, and everyone thought it was kind of like that Atlanta game, Donnie, a couple weeks ago, where we thought it was a touchdown, but then it was I don't know, weird. Titans also, Donnie, rough day for that group. They don't score. They only have 106 total yards in the game, and they get sacked 11 times. Baltimore had 11 sacks in the game. Titans were dreadful yesterday. This offense sucks. They stink.
Jeff might have been. There's football games where you can watch that are 9-6, 12-6. Much of the Cleveland Browns football games over the past 3 to 4 years have been brutal on the eyes. I don't think that I even want to go back because most of the time watching that football game was on red zone, but there was only a couple 4 o'clock games. It was on quite a bit. Was that not the single most boring game, never in doubt, that you've ever seen? It was I can't even believe how boring that was, which I usually like to go back and see what went wrong. I'm not even going to actually go look at that football game because I'm going to actually take a nap if that starts up on my TV screen or my computer monitor there. What an absolute awful, if you're going to send it to another country and say, hey, look, here's American football, they'd be like, yeah, send that back. We don't want any part of it. What a horrific game. But again, it might have been a Picasso if you bet the Ravens because you would have enjoyed the entire game.
It continues to be a bad game, though, over in London, Donnie. Another bad game there. I mean, that game was never really in doubt either.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to send a real football team over there, so every road team has no idea what's going on and can prepare for it. Did the Raiders, we joked, Jeff, right before the game, the Raiders came over late this week. No studies done whatsoever. It looked like they didn't give a shit about being in London whatsoever. Got their ass kicked, and then you had John Gruden again after the game talking about, look, I'm going to be here. And then you have Derek Carr, quarterback, saying, man, it's night and day. We're so prepared at practice. You guys look like you suck out there. What kind of preparation are you talking about, Derek Carr? Your offense is horrific. Your defense is horrific, and nobody cares out there. You have guys talking about, hey, how was the game yesterday? And your star linebacker, pass rusher saying, I have a great wife, a beautiful wife. I'm going to go try to make some babies with her, and that's how you leave it in the locker room. So just an awful experience by the Raiders. But then again, Jeff, when you have a head coach that it will be there for 9 years, that's hilarious.
It might be the worst contract in the history of sports, honestly. I mean, it's an awful contract. It's terrible. It's terrible. Let me say it again, Donnie. It's a terrible contract.
No, it's and he can't. And the Raiders are cash poor as an organization. Mark Davis, the son of Al Davis, they can't buy him out. It's a $100 million contract. He's going to be there for at least 6 to 7 years, and there's nothing that the the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders can do about it at this point. You know what was interesting, Jeff, too? When we talk about coaches, press conferences that they give. Look, I know the Dolphins won yesterday, right? But you have to buy yourself because you know as well as I do, Jeff, especially living here in the Philadelphia market, if you bury yourself with the media, they'll never let up on you. They will come, even if you win, lose, they'll call for your head left and right. Did you watch the Adam Gase post-game press conference again yesterday, Jeff, after the Miami game? Did you see any snippets of that?
I did not, no.
They're basically asking him after the game again, because you see Doug Peterson, you see Andy Reid, and you see Bill Belichick and whatever. They don't like to get into a lot of, technical talk on injuries. But Adam Gase just takes it to another level where they're saying, look, he's got a shoulder injury. What gives? And he's just standing up there on, there's HIPAA laws. I can't tell you anything about this injury. I have no idea. Go ask the quarterback himself. And I'm saying, he's like a third grader as a head football coach. Almost one of those guys, Jeff, that's so talented, but you root against him because he's such an asshole. What an awful press conference where you're just asking simple questions like you can say, yeah, you know what? Shoulder's banged up. We're going to take it week to week, and we'll see how he progresses. And he just went way into almost like lawyer mode, HIPAA laws. I can't tell you a single thing. I had no idea this week if he was even going to play, and go ask him if he wants to play. I was like, this is just amazing, man, from a head football coach in the NFL.
I'll tell you what, no press conference was worse yesterday than that pathetic Jalen Ramsey press conference.
He's
Listen, this
another
guy
weasel
is
too. Yeah, you want to
he's
talk?
a
You want to
we
talk smack? Yeah, you want to talk
he
smack all over the place and then get 40 hung on you? You better
he's
be
a
able to answer
total
questions. Yeah, he is.
he's a total weasel. He is a total weasel. And yesterday was pathetic. I mean, what also is more pathetic is why the reporters like kept asking him questions. Like he was clearly going to be a fucking prick about it.
No,
Uh,
and the one girl reporter, she asked like
yeah,
9 questions. After 6
yeah.
of them were answered with one word. Like, as a reporter, Jeff, how do you feel this morning? Good. I'd be like, all right, I'm done with this guy. I'm done with the interview. Like, I could tell he doesn't, but they kept. It's almost like they were trying to get something ridiculous out of him, even though every question was answered exactly the same. How's this? You got 40 hung on you. How do you feel today? Like, what is he going to say anyway to that question? It was an awful interview, and I'm glad they showed it to its entirety, because whoever the girl was that asked 75 questions and got the same response, what did you expect?
I mean, I will say this: it was more about him being a little weasel, and like he's so talkative when
Exactly.
he's another one. He's another one. He only talks when everything's good and everything's great. When he gets toasted all day, we don't hear about that.
Yeah,
It's
back-to-back weeks, they're giving up 50 points on supposedly the historically great Jacksonville defense. Now he doesn't want to talk about anything, right? Well, maybe if you can go home again and play like the Jets or something to get your mojo back, but you got hammered back-to-back weeks, and you have nothing to say now when you talk smack on like Dak Prescott was
also.
Joe Montana yesterday.
Can we please? Like I've been pushing for this for years. If you followed me, can we push for the stoppage of these sideline stupid reporters, please? And listen, I'm gonna make it with one little piece. Maria Taylor's the only one I'm interested in. She's actually a good reporter. I do admit. I think she has some decent questions. But can we stop with these stupid interviews after the game and stuff? Donnie, what are the point of them? What are the point of they ask the
They're
same
not. They're
dumb
not any good.
question?
No,
They're
the
just
only
stupid.
thing a sideline reporter should do, and they should only go down to them. They shouldn't ask the coaches any questions, because the coaches don't want to talk anyway. And Maria Taylor had one of the dumbest interviews all year with Nick Saban, so she's in the same pot as everybody else. But
Not
besides
only
that,
she's
just give me an injury report. Just give me an injury report. So and so just got taken in the medical tent, and we'll see what happens. That's all. That's all I need you for. I don't need you to ask any questions about a 50-point blowout. How do you think your quarterback controversy is? We don't need that. That's ridiculousness. Just
I'll
answer the
tell you
questions about
this.
injuries, and we'll be done.
One thing about Maria Taylor that I find to be odd, and I'm going to bring this up because I'd be curious to hear other people's opinions. She's a beautiful woman. Like she's attractive. She's definitely I'm into that type. But I find myself a little awkward with like, and I know Donna, you probably don't see this because you don't have. I don't think you have Instagram, but she does these like she goes to the schools, Donnie, that they're going to go to, and she goes like 3 or 4 days before, and
Mhm.
she has some super like awkward like she hangs out with like these guys. Like it's kind of awkward. Like
Hangs out with
this
who?
girl's like the football team. Like she'll go like have like hang out with like it's weird. Like I don't know. Like I guess it's like to get stories and stuff, but like these stupid like little
You need
like
content, Jeff. Yep. What did they tell? Hey,
I
go
I
to. You
know,
need
but like
content.
the content is like I get if it's like Gene Wojak, one of these like Tom Rinaldi or something, but it's an attractive woman like kind of the same age, and it's like it seems like every guy she's like it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
just
guess
put a
I kind
hot
of
reporter down there, like the Maria Taylors. Just who's the Laura Rutledge girl? You have
oh
Erin
yeah.
Andrews. Just give somebody semi-attractive down there, and we can live with it, right? We don't need any in-depth. Back in the day, ABC with Dr. Jerry Punch on the sideline and getting
Oh,
all
yeah.
analytical. We don't need any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Just put a hot girl down there, have her talk about somebody spraining their ankle, and we can deal with that.
You seem like a Laura Rutledge type.
Yes, a big fan.
Yeah, Laura Rutledge is hot. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just get like they're weird interaction. I don't know. And she has like these little like lingo with like all the people that she interviews. Like it's like I don't know, kind of weird. Um, what else do we have here? Shootout Sunday night. What a game last night. And I got to tell
Yeah.
you, I've talked before. The NFL is a great. It's fun. I'm not into it as much as like Donnie is sometimes, but like last night I was doing college basketball stuff, but the second half of this game was great. I mean, I think we were all kind of into it. I didn't really want it to end, Donnie. I was hoping for 10 more minutes
OT.
of this game. Yeah, I was hoping for more of it. It was terrific, back and forth.
No, it was a great football game, and like it's as soon as Tom Brady got strip sack fumbled in the second half, you knew it was going to be on. And again, I had all week long, early in the week you could have got -3, -125, but the prevailing line was -3, even creeped up to 4 by game time. If you're looking at the Patriots, those are so tough, Jeff. In the same way that I had the feeling in the Atlanta game, because and we talked at the halftime. Remember, Atlanta's up 11 with the ball. I'm saying, Jeff, you know damn well how this is going to go with Atlanta's defense, and everything comes to fruition. And it was the same way in that game where saw the Patriots with a stranglehold, but you're saying that Kansas City Chiefs offense is so devastating. You knew they would come back. And even at the end of the game, the Gostkowski 50-yard field goal to go up 7, you're like, get me a stop. One play down the field touchdown, then you're saying, my God, it's hard to lay points in these type of football games, anything more than a field goal, because both of these teams can go toe-to-toe. But what a fun game. Like, if you're going to look at today's NFL and the way it's supposed to be played, that's how the NFL wants it to be played. Explosive offenses without much resistance from the defense, keeping both teams in. Huge games if you're in fantasy football implications. Over-under set at 60. They absolutely eviscerate that. It was a fun game to watch. And, again, hard to beat the Patriots in New England, Jeff.
Yeah, and look, we're going to see that game again. I think we all are well
Yeah.
aware of that, and I think we should just skip the whole season and get to that game. Donnie, Brock Osweiler tells all the haters to go fuck themselves yesterday, and shreds the Bears, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns. The king of South Beach, Donnie. Could it be Brock
Yes.
Osweiler?
How does that happen, though? Like, let's get into the mind and the psyche of the gambler in the sports world, right? Word on the street gets out. Oh, my God, Brock Osweiler starting today. But you're right. It wasn't our original thought process, and you even said it yesterday on the show, Jeff. Like, well, Tannehill is not Tom Brady, right? So you're giving an extra 4 points a game to a home team. If he could just be, like, serviceable, like, just don't throw 7 interceptions for touchdowns, which you feel like you were about to before that game, and the Dolphins are banged up on the offensive line, and he can't get away. He plays a decent football game, throws for over 350 yards, and leads them back against a tough Bears defense. That was just a microcosm of betting in the NFL and how hard it is to actually win when you bet, because your eyes deceive you, Jeff. What did you see the week before the bye week? Trubisky lighting it up, finally clicks. That Bears defense, so tough. Oh, my God, the Dolphins lost 2 straight games, now lost their starting quarterback. The NFL is awesome, man. Sometimes you just have to get a feel and a spot for a play and take it. But look, man, I don't think anybody on their wildest day thought before that game started Brock Osweiler is going to throw for 350 and lead a comeback in the fourth quarter to beat the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Listen, I guess, though, according to your boy Adam Gase, there's no quarterback controversy.
Yeah, there's not going to be one because, Osweiler's not going to be on 380 yards and 3 touchdowns. But, it is going to be Tannehill's team. You have to find out what you have. But I just, you're not going to get anything out of him. He might as well be coaching in, MAC football right now, Jeff, where you don't even know if the quarterback's even going to suit up or play or do what. Because it's kind of funny in the NFL where over the course of the season, he has a banged up AC joint in his throwing shoulder, and nobody knows about it. That has to change in the NFL. Okay, HIPAA law or no HIPAA law. In the gambling age, that has to change.
2 of the worst quarterbacks in the league, Nathan Peterman and Josh Allen, didn't go well yesterday. Listen, Donnie, are we going to still try to justify that Nathan Peterman's an NFL quarterback? Seriously.
No, and
this guy is terrible.
Go ahead. Let it rip.
This guy, 61 yards yesterday, completed half his passes, 2 interceptions. These are college numbers. And Donnie, again, I'm not going to make this a Colin Kaepernick situation, but he's better than Nate Peterman. You have to admit that. Nate Peterman is terrible, dude. He's horrible. He's disgustingly bad. He's one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen in a long time in this league. You can't admit that.
The quarterback room, Jeff. He just must be able to study and help the starter and run the scout and just be happy and content with that. Because the funniest interview that was yesterday was the Nate Peterman interview that he gave after the game. I'm not sure he went to the podium and said this, but the reporters had it, and I retweeted it yesterday, where people were saying, dude, you're just bad in the NFL. It's basically what the question was. How do you say, well, I'm a man of God, and football's not going to define me. Well, get the hell out of football then. Leave. And there was Buffalo fans, which you will see out there, who when I said you have to play Josh Allen because he's a rookie, you have to find out what you have. Peterman's been lighting it up, man. You got to get Peterson a shot. Look, he's been awful since college. A wretched, wretched quarterback.
I don't even think
And
he was good
really
then.
wanted him to start. And how about the game yesterday? It's a tie game. It's one thing, Jeff, a tipped interception, a great pick. They just jumped that route in the flat and just housed it like the DB was the wide receiver and he was throwing it to him. Straight up embarrassment there. And again, let's get back to the point also where Buffalo's saying like, hey, we don't want to trade Shady. He's one of our better players. We want to help out. What are you doing now? Now that you're starting quarterback, sure, you got Nate Peterman and you still want a second-round pick. You're lucky teams are even picking up the phone asking for Shady for a fifth-round pick with that contract and his legal issues coming up. Buffalo, just one of those teams that just far out there right now with their thought process.
Right about that. One other one here, Donnie, or two other ones. Tampa, what happened in that game, Donnie? I got to tell you, that quarterback draw play was, look, I don't think it was designed.
It wasn't
Clearly,
designed.
I don't
That
think
was
they.
an absolutely designed play, Jeff. But look, sometimes you outsmart yourself, right? Was it creative? Yes. Was it going to take a miracle for it to convert? Yes. Did they actually have it set up correctly? Yes. Could it have worked? Yes. But I'm just going to go back to how bad Atlanta is on defense. I have a guy over on one side of the field, Jeff. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Mike Evans, pretty tall, pretty athletic, great hands, great at the jump ball. You're not the 50. This isn't a Hail Mary. Why would you just not throw it in his direction in a jump ball? Would that have been better than a quarterback draw from the 20 that needed 7 laterals to have a chance? Did I miss? Look, from a Tampa Bay perspective, Atlanta perspective betting, I loved it because it was a miracle if it was going to happen. Throw it up in the air to your best or Brait. They out jump these tiny ass DBs all game long, and you go to the quarterback draw, Jeff.
And wasn't it pretty evident that Atlanta couldn't stop anything? I mean,
That was the
I don't
point.
know.
Yes. They went to like
Yeah,
Swiss
very
cheese
odd.
down the field with like a minute to go and no timeouts, and they get it down to the 20, and now like they barely could get a pass rush. And instead of like taking some time, rolling out of the pocket and throwing up to your gigantor wide receiver who's built for this type of play, you run your quarterback who has to have 17 laterals and try to make it work. Thank goodness for bad coaching in the NFL. That sometimes goes your way.
Dirk Cutter, everybody. Dirk Cutter. Jets put up 42. How about that? This team's pretty good at home, actually. I think we're starting to learn that. That's 2 straight wins for them in New York. A nice win yesterday. Game went way over the number. I believe Ian Cameron was on this over. A nice call by him.
No,
Yeah,
great call. Right
Darnold
off the
though.
Batman, you get pick 6, and Andrew Luck's coming back on left and right. But say what you want, Jeff. Sam Darnold out there, good man. Kid can play some football. Had them constantly moving into at least field. And then they kicked like 19. Or the kicker had like 1,000,000 points yesterday. But as long as you're putting points up, you put pressure on the other team, man. Impressive. Because Jeff, coming into
Jets.
the season, we were laughing at them, right? We were laughing at the Jets.
Hey Jets, there's a kid down at Houston named DeAndre Hopkins. Go get that kid. You put him with Sam Darnold to kill it for 10 years down the road.
Why would they elect DeAndre Hopkins? He's got a big deal down there. He ain't going.
Eventually, get him away from Houston. That's the guy they need. DeAndre Hopkins, the best receiver in the league. But you look at what Darnold's doing, and you look at the talent around him, or lack thereof. I mean, you're not throwing to great players here. Impressive stuff by him. Good work. Any other things, Donnie, you noticed in the NFL?
Just overall interesting week. I mean, it is another. What do you got to say? You got Washington. Look, we didn't talk much about the Redskins. Coming in banged up, looking absolutely horrific on Monday Night Football in a short week. Handling, and look, again, the NFL came down to the last play of the game, and they couldn't get it. But what a nice win by Washington as a bounce back. And I think we have to say it, Jeff. We all laughed at the NFC East, right? Coming up off the carpet this weekend. Eagles paced the Giants to further put them away. Now you have the Cowboys going out and exploding on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then you have the Washington Redskins get up off the mat and go hammer the Carolina Panthers. So it looks like we're going to have a little race to end the season. Would have been nice as an Eagle fan if both of them would have lost, but they both won, and here we go.
I'll tell you what. I was thinking about this last night, looking at like all the different teams in the NFC. I mean, other than the Rams, which obviously they're very good, but I mean, Donnie, there are not a lot of good teams in the NFC. My God. I mean,
No, and you're going to
Man,
see an
I'm
injured quarterback tonight that we thought. You saw the Vikings just play down to their competition again. We thought the Bears could take that next step and say, hey, they should be, you're not asking for style points, but you should beat the Miami Dolphins. You'll be on your way. That's a devastating loss for the Chicago Bears. And we said, maybe the bye came at the wrong time. Trubisky finally was hot and you're feeling it. Now you go down and play in Miami. It's 100 degrees on the football field. Khalil Mack can't get out of his own way. And man, it's just, the ebbs and flows of the NFL are like no other, man.
Yeah. Comment by Trevor Smart. Why do people still pay this chump Jeff Nady for picks? He's a horrible football capper. Oh, and then he deletes the comment. What a
No,
fucking mutt.
look at Zach. Zach's watching this one. Zach's up early today. That's pretty good, man.
I actually
Jeff, why
deleted
do
his.
they pay you picks anyway?
I couldn't tell you. Probably because I kill it in basketball. That's probably why. I'm the king of basketball, probably. That's funny though. He deletes the comment in mid saying the comment. That's funny. He must have hit that by accident, Donnie. He must have wanted to post that under his other account, but it didn't come
No,
out under that.
Zach dropped them. Zach's in here and dropped them.
Well, thank you, Zach. If that was you that did that.
Yes, it
But
was.
I have a feeling that person posted that under the wrong account. Watch your burners account. What else do we have here, Donnie? Let's move into college. What a fun weekend it was. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this one first. There you go. LSU won. Congratulations, LSU. You beat Georgia. How about Coach O, Donnie? Coach O, very likable sort, I have to say.
He is like, he is rude. I didn't think he'd actually be a very good football coach, head coach wise. But look, there's something to be said. If you're going to
They
be the
love him.
guy, the face of the school, right, and the face of the South for all intents and purposes, he has money, or the school's backed them with money to go out and get really good coordinators and make some decisions. Because his job is what, Jeff? Shake the hands of the boosters, recruit like an animal, like he typically does, and just stay out of the way. And it seems like which is good. Because the same way I look at Herm Edwards, I really like Herm Edwards. I thought he might be a disaster. Now, we'll see if he can recruit and get the guys in. But Herm Edwards is letting his coordinators do the work, and he's running it like a CEO. And who hates Coach O? I don't even care if you're a Georgia Bulldog, a Florida Gator, an Alabama Crimson Tide. When you say, boy, I can't stand LSU. But it's not, it's the same way with me, Jeff, with the Cowboys. I never hated Tony. How do you hate Tony Romo? He just seems like a goofy, good guy.
With all
to
the
be around,
scumbag,
likable. Yeah.
with all the scumbag coaches in America,
Yes.
I got to tell you, I wouldn't hate my kid playing for the guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's an ornery guy. He seems like a very likable individual.
Yeah, like if you're having a player's having a
kid.
down day, or your girlfriend left you in college, or you didn't get a good grade, or you're struggling with being away from your mom. Imagine just walking into Coach O's office and he's take you out for a little bit of spicy gumbo, right? And just talk about it. That's the type of guy he would be.
Yeah, my boy put a little pepper in the gumbo.
Yeah, hold on. Here we go. Ready? Watch this. Coach O, you got a minute over there?
Hell yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Look, Coach. Like my girlfriend, she's trying to leave me. I'm trying to study up for these midterms coming up. We got the big game versus Alabama down the road. Just struggling, Coach, man. Look, can you talk to me for a minute?
Well, you need to get your head out of your ass and get ready for the game. We got a big game over the weekend. Maybe you come there, you get ready to go. You watch your Tiger win. But I'll tell you, watch out. Stay away from that Adderall, buddy. Yeah, Adderall. Don't go, no Adderall. Go out, get a little pep in your gumbo. Get going, boy. Come on, baby. Let's go. We got Tiger football. Go Tigers.
Yeah, he would say something like, what we going to do right now? We're going to go down there, and we're going to go see Mike the Tiger. He going to cheer you up. I'm going to call Mike the Tiger right now. We're going to go pet him. I mean, he'd pull out all the stops if you're having a down day, man.
But Coach O, it's
you over, Jeff, to go pet Mike the Tiger. Yes, he would.
Don't worry about it. I know this Tiger. He ain't going to touch you. I know him. He good. But no, I saw him I saw the interview with him on the sidelines, with his wife, and I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. I'd like to.
Dude, how could you can't? I don't think you see all the slime bag coaches come out.
Hey,
and
Donnie,
people
you're the one that shitted on the guy.
Has anybody ever said anything about Coach O? What's that?
You shitted on him, not me.
No, I don't like him as a head football coach. I don't think he knows the game of football overall, but he can be a great recruiter, and he's a nice guy. There's something to be said about nice guys. You root for him, but I don't think he's a good football coach overall, no.
It sounds like it hurts to talk like that. Early in the morning it does, because I haven't, it's early, but I don't know. Some of those voices are tough because you got to Yeah, Edo's an interesting character. Big win for LSU, beating Georgia over the weekend. UCF stays unbeaten. They beat Memphis, had to crawl back, and their delusional fans came out of the woodwork again. It's like these, Donnie, I love these people that don't follow you, but like they'll go and like search out like UCF and they'll look for people that type bad about UCF and then like attack them. I had this one guy over the weekend that did that, and I just kept saying, dude, you actually think they won the national title? He actually went and like searched for something that said they were the national title champions or whatever, and like posted it to me. And I just thought to myself, wow, what a sad individual that, you know, that's what we're still talking about.
Jeff, it won't go away. Can they creep into the top 5? Another big win on the
Oh,
road versus Memphis.
oh, no, no, no. I wish they would have lost. I would have loved to see those fuckers lose. They don't play anyone. That's the toughest
Now,
game they're going to play
yeah, but
all
it's
season.
more fun when they win because the energy is still there. That's what we like, isn't it? We want to see the energy from the USC fans. Be like, we are national champs. Knock us off. The longer they
Listen,
go, the more fun it is.
the most impressive team over the weekend, that team up in Ann Arbor, the Michigan Wolverines. What a big win for that group. What a big blowout win against a bad dude. How bad's Hornibrook, Donnie? Alex Hornibrook?
Yeah, I don't look.
Terrible.
I did, like Hornibrook's been there a while, and he's a veteran. But if he is cursed on one thing, Jeff, how no wide receiver can avoid sexual assault, beatings, suspensions, broken legs. Does he have the worst luck with wide receivers where they can't seem to deliver him one wide receiver? What happened?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they never seem to be able to have. It's always just like those, those smaller like guys that just can't make plays. There's no big
And
player to go
every
up and get
one
the
of
ball.
their good
Yeah, I hear
wideouts
you.
either snaps his leg, leaves school, or gets a sexual assault against him. I don't know what it is with Wisconsin wide receivers, but they just can't seem to stay on the field.
Blaze Edwards, big man, and Paul Feimum hate UCF. Keep climbing up the polls. We'll prove you all wrong. Listen,
There you go.
Blaze,
Yep, he is
it's
proving you
not
wrong,
the
Jeff.
point. You're evading the elephant in the room. They don't beat anybody. Stop with this crap.
They beat
Stop talking
Auburn,
about.
Jeff. Take that. They
They
raced
didn't beat them
Auburn.
this year, though. They beat them one time last year. If you want to go to the national title game and be in the Final Four, go to a different conference. It's your fucking fault you're in the AAC. That's not our fault. It's not as good as the SEC. It's not as good as the AC. It's not as good as the Big. Stop. They're not going to the fucking Final Four. Get over yourself. The only national championship team is the team that won the national championship last year. Not some fugazi, fake ass flag that we put in our school because we want to be, with everybody else. Nobody fucking recognizes you other than people that live in that state or in that city, actually. Because I guarantee no one
Jeff,
from
yeah, but how
Tallahassee.
about this, though? Quan White chimes in, Jeff, and says, does Tennessee now creep back into the national picture with their win this weekend?
Don't fucking make me laugh. I mean, seriously. That can't be serious. Tennessee are fucking pathetic. Oh, they won over the weekend. Big deal. Get out of here with that. Another delusional fan base.
How about this, though,
Listen,
Jeff? Let's go over one more delusional fan base, Jeff. A coach who's supposedly the smartest guy who loves to come out and run with the football team with
oh
sunglasses on
yeah.
before the game, interlock his chains. No better place to play than State College, and watch me
Oh
run
yeah.
with the team. Hell, I might even suit up at linebacker one week because I think I'm so much a part of this team. Collapses at the end of the football game with another
Yeah.
poorly coached game, but
Yep.
James Franklin is the ultimate winner. What is he? 3-12 versus top rated teams or something like this, but he's the end all be all. Now that's like we root for Coach O. Even though I don't think Coach O is a great coach, Jeff. James Franklin's a bad football coach, and I heavily root against. I can't even imagine if Penn State ever got like a coach, a likable coach, and I'm like, you know what? I think I like Penn State. It's so much fun to hate on Penn State because of everything that goes on there, and now their head coach on top of it. It shouldn't be that way, Jeff. I don't live in Pennsylvania, but I'm very close there. Penn State is regionally the team that most people root for. And since I was a 6-year-old kid, I hated Penn State.
Yep. Another complete loser, James Franklin. A guy that can't ever win anything. But it's always rah bullshit. Shut up. And then after the game, he never ends. It's always we're going to get better. Dude, you shut up. I mean, give it up. I love seeing that. That's always so great. After not only was there all the off a bye, they're playing a Michigan State team that's been average this year, who lost to Fresno State early this
Dude,
season
that one
or
kid,
somebody.
I mean, his name has slipped in my mind, but the one wide receiver, every time I watch Michigan State makes plays, the kid with the long hair was the number 18. That kid just makes plays, man.
Oh my God, the delusion continues, Donnie, on the chat. Now we have Teddy B chiming in, who never seems to say anything that makes any sense, and that doesn't stop today. Teddy B, they beat us on their schedule, Jeff. What's the difference between Iowa and UCF? I'll give you one fucking big one. They play in the Big Ten. I mean, jeez, am I actually having to explain this, Donnie? I mean, seriously, Teddy, are you that delusional that you can't see the difference between UCF and Iowa? Do you see it, Donnie? Because I do. It's a big thing
I
called
want
the
UCF
Big
placement.
Ten.
See, but this is why we need UCF, Jeff, to sneak into the top 4 and get into the play, which they're not going to because
They're
money
not
is
going to.
talked over everything. These big conferences will shut out that group of 5 faster than your head will spin, so they keep all the money. That's the design of the playoff and the BCS supposedly here. But I would just like to see him get in. Like, you know what? 1 versus 4. Bama versus UCF. You know what I mean? Let's, go toe to toe.
No, it ain't going to happen. And I don't think they want it that. Oh, by the way, though, we have to remember, everybody, big game next weekend for UCF. Donnie, this is a big one. They're heading over to Greenville to take on the Pirates of ECU.
Ooh, there you go.
Another
That'll
big
improve the
game.
strength of schedule, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The best. Oh, by the way, Donnie, let's go over who they beaten this year. UConn, who might be the worst team in the country. South Carolina State. Not South
Yeah, but
Carolina.
Jeff, that is
South Carolina State.
that is the civil conflict though. So that is a big game beating UConn there for them.
Sure. Beat South Carolina State. The Bulldogs are Division II. UCF, UNC. Oh, that game was postponed. They beat Florida Atlantic. Who cares? Beat Pittsburgh. Who cares? SMU. They're one of the worst teams in the country. Beat Memphis. You were down double digits in the game.
In
I
the
guess
rain,
that's
though, that's
impressive.
showing moxie, Jeff, keeping that winning streak alive.
You should beat those teams. We're not giving you a fucking path to the championship because you beat Pittsburgh and Connecticut, and you got East Carolina this week. That'll be a tough one. Temple will beat the Owls. Navy, Cincinnati, and South Florida. Ooh, murderers row there. What's Connecticut School of the Blind after that? The hell out of here. National champ. Beat it with that crowd.
I need him in the top 4, Jeff. Can we get a petition going in the top 4? How about if UFC gets it, like the Tiger Woods thing, like just caveats out there, right? UFC is the national champion with the little asterisk. Tiger Woods won a fake tournament, so he gets an asterisk. It's a lot in common between UCF and Tiger Woods, Jeff.
Well, the thing is, Tiger Woods has actually won something in his career. This group of fans is a bunch of losers that are so delusional that they can't win and they're not in the picture, so they put themselves into the picture. But hey,
yeah, but Jeff,
20 years down the road,
you have to make a bet with the UFC fans here, Jeff. If let's just say UCF goes undefeated, because they could, and probably still would be undefeated and be left out of the national title picture, so they'll get a good bowl game. If UCF runs the table, Jeff, I think we have to go to Disney World for the parade, and I think SBR should front the bill. That would be great theater, wouldn't it? We would broadcast live from Disney World at the UCF Magical Championship Parade.
I'll give you one better, Donnie, and I think this would be a way better trip. I say we go to the AAC final and protest that they're not national champions.
Have T-shirts made up with a booth out front that said this is not a real championship team, and just see what they do. Maybe have a dunk tank down there for charity, Jeff. You could sit in there.
Yeah. Another comment here today, Rodrigo. Now that you have the show in Chicago, you only talk nonsense on this show.
This is the best nonsense show ever. That's why I love this show, man. You could get who does a morning show? We're almost out of time here. I could go for another 6 hours talking nonsense. The Monday morning show is by far my favorite show because you don't even have to put any time in. Everything just rolls out and you can just have fun with it. I love Monday morning quarterback shows.
This guy's great. Talk about the games, big man, not your stubborn opinion. No one gives a shit about
anyway. Packers, Vikings, or Packers and the Niners.
Yeah,
I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you a hint tonight. Packers win. There you go.
Yes, exactly. All right. Let's go back to sports talk. That's so much better. Even though this is a morning show and it's our fucking show, Rodrigo. You don't like it?
This is a sports show. I mean, we do have shirts by that say that. I'm going to break that one out.
Well, it is a sports show. We're talking sports.
I love it. These are my favorite
Walter
stuff.
Trotter's liking it. And you know what? Rodrigo? That's who we care about. Guys like Walter Trotter. You know, you
Bringing home
you're
that
just
cash.
you just like to complain. Just listen to the show, all right? We'll
Yeah,
deliver, all
there you
right,
go.
pal?
Juan White says it all right there. Packers money line tonight. Enjoy it. Enjoy the game. Just enjoy the
Quickly,
win.
Donnie. Scott Frost is 0-6. I saw people. I saw USA Today wrote an article that should Scott Frost be fired, Donnie?
Yeah, but he
Look,
would actually like to get fired because he would collect a massive paycheck
listen,
and then go to
Donnie.
a better school.
I'm just saying. At some point, you have to wonder about Scott. I mean, this is pretty pathetic. I mean,
Yeah,
losing
but
like
he's the
this.
yeah, the cupboard was pretty bare at Nebraska, but look, when you're a Power 5 school and you schedule, like, I don't wanna say cupcake teams, but there's some lower level teams that you schedule, you have to you win by default at home. It's hard, isn't it, Jeff? You have 90,000 fans in your home stadium. You gotta win some of these football games. I mean, come on. What are we doing here at Nebraska?
Yeah, fuck, hell if I know. I mean, listen, I get, you lose to Michigan or someone like that, Wisconsin, but I mean, you lose by double digits to Purdue. You blow a lead against Northwestern. I mean,
Troy.
yeah, yeah, right, right. It's just there's no
Talking about it's
excuse.
gonna
By the
talking about it might get worse and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
by the way, I also wanted to apologize for my and I don't apologize very often, so take this for what it's worth. I apologize for my comments about Colorado football. Clearly, they were wrong. Clearly, this team is obviously not as good as we thought they were. I was overly surprised by their poor play this week. USC is good. I don't think they're great. Colorado is going to have a tough time this week at Washington. Um, Montez looked like the old Montez. Laviska Shenault went out with an injury. They're Donnie just so dependent on Laviska Shenault. It's not even funny. I think 45% of their offense is run through Shenault. I mean, they just don't have much there. They're not going to be able to run the ball this week. And Shenault, Donnie, without with an injury, Colorado could be real fade material this week in Washington.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I haven't even looked at the card yet. I have no idea who's playing who. I'll start to, delve into that this week and, see what's what.
Comic Ricky, you guys are killing, and I'm a comedian. Well,
Oh,
listen,
yes, he is. Yes, he
I
is.
love Comic Ricky. I think he's great, and he's probably hilarious. But Donnie, I've always hated. Like, I'm not. I think comedians are funny, but I feel like people are funny just being funny. Like sometimes the funniest people are the people that don't try to be funny; they just are.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, dude, some people can just get into a room and light it up and don't have to try hard.
Like Ian Cameron's really funny. He can be really funny.
Yeah,
Quickly,
especially when he goes to
Donnie.
soup convention, sure.
Sure. Packers, 49ers. Packers 9, total 46. Yeah, the sharp play in this game is Packers money line, for sure. San Francisco, though, going hobbled. We know they have a backup quarterback. Defensively, Donnie, San Francisco's not been good. They just not been good at all. I guess the question is, do you think San Francisco could put points on the board tonight? I feel like they can get to 20. They get to 20, this game will go over the number. I actually like the over. Packers offense, I think will be able to move the ball quite effectively tonight. Green Bay or San Francisco's defense has been dreadful.
No, it has, and it all depends on, though, because it's hard to bet a game because I do like the over, like, when we're looking at betting situations, but and then you just see it creeped up. Well, Aaron Rodgers got hurt again last week, so I'm just waiting for a healthy Green Bay offense, which will be able to move the football, especially against a team like San Francisco. You're gonna get some chilly temperatures, and we see in the NFL, it's more likely to go over if you're playing a game in the 40s than it would be going under, and I still think the over is a decent play, but something just keeps me off it, man. If Aaron Rodgers is going to be limping around back there, it's tough to take overs because he's not going to put himself in a position where he's going to just put the pedal to the metal. So I mean, it's a hard one. I won't have any effective, great analysis on this football game, but early in the week I was looking for an over in this game.
Yeah, obviously we got to check the weather, see that everything's good up at Lambeau, but I've had some decent success with some of these primetime overs. Might look back at this again. It's not an overly high total either. I mean, 24, 28-24 gets you there. I'm going to look towards this one maybe. We'll check about this later in the day. Also, check out our show at 3 o'clock on WCKG. We'll go over this game a little bit more in depth and you'll get some opinions on it from Donnie and I. We also have some baseball tonight. We'll get to that and more. We'll take some calls as well. Calls have been very good. Enjoy those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If anyone has a comment, you guys want to get your voice heard, maybe we didn't say it on the show here today, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Regular guys, normal guys that we see in these chats, Guan give us a call, but give us a call. Ski Profit or Capper John or James or any of you guys. Give us a call. Make your voice heard. Two more comments and then we'll wrap it up, Donnie Rightside. I think one thing we do need to go over, Donnie, one day is quarterbacks in college or players in college that have seemingly been there for 12 years. Those are always fun to go over. Seems like Tanner Mangum and Steven Montez have been there for about 10 years. Thanks, Walter. Thanks, everyone, for chiming in today. We're going to wrap it up. We'll have you all on. We'll see you at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock Central for the closing line. Join us today, Donnie. We'd love to hear from all of you. We'll see you then. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.